Hello, today we're going to look at genetic inheritance and how characteristics can be inherited from parents. And the example we're going to use is that of mice. So here we've got two mice, a male and a female. We've got a white mouse and a brown mouse. And the question is, if these two were to mate and have baby mice or offspring, which color would they be? Would they be white? Would they be brown? Would they be something in between? Well, for this example, we have to remember that we're looking at the gene for fur color, and in mice there is just one gene that controls the fur color. However, that gene has different versions. Those different versions decide whether the mouse is going to have brown fur or whether it's going to have white fur. And when we have alternate forms of a gene, we call those alternate forms alleles. So the gene is for the fur color, the two alternate forms are brown and white, and those two alternate forms are called alleles. So we could just make a note of that there, spelled A-L-L-E-L-E-S. So these are alleles, versions of the gene for fur color. So if we know we're dealing with fur color, we know there is one gene that controls fur color, and we know in this example there are two alleles for that fur color. So the color of the mouse is going to be determined by which alleles the mouse has. So let's just, for argument's sake, that this is the daddy mouse or the father mouse, and the other one is the female. We can look at the alleles that each of those have. So I've given the example of using the letters B. We've got two lowercase b's for the white mouse and two uppercase b's for the brown mouse, and we'll explain why those are upper and lowercase in a minute. But the important point that we need to remember is that each mouse will have two alleles for fur color. And that is because they get those alleles from their parents. So they would have got one from each from mother and father. So we have a capital B that stands for brown, and we're going to use a lowercase that stands for white. Remember, we must always use the same letter. So we can't use B and W, we use B uppercase and lowercase. And the capital B stands for dominant. So the allele for brown fur is dominant, and the allele for white fur is the opposite of dominant, and we call that recessive. So the allele for white fur is recessive. Now, we can see that the white mouse, the father, has two lowercase b, so he has two recessive alleles. The mother has two dominant alleles, and that's why her fur color is brown. But that still doesn't tell us what color the babies might be. So let's just move that out of the way and see if we can work this out. An important thing to remember is that when these alleles are passed on, only one can be passed on in each of the sperm cells or egg cells. So the white mouse can only pass on one lowercase b in each of the sperm cells, and the brown mouse can only pass on one uppercase b in the egg cells. This line of diagrams there are the gametes. So the gametes, you may remember from a previous video, are the sex cells, sperm and egg. So how do these combine, and how will they determine the fur color of the offspring? Well, we could take the example of these two gametes here, the sperm cell and the egg cell, and one possibility is that sperm cell could combine with that egg cell. That means in the fertilized egg we're going to have one uppercase b and one lowercase b, and if that gets a chance to develop into a baby mouse, that baby mouse is going to have brown fur because the brown allele is dominant. It masks the effect of the recessive one. So this is going to be a brown mouse. But that's only one possible scenario. There could be other scenarios as well. There's a good chance that the mice will have, these two parents will have more than one mouse. So what will be the color of the fur of the other babies, or the other, we should stop calling them babies, actually we should use the word offspring. So what would be the color of the other offspring? Well, we can work out what all the possible combinations of sperm cells and egg cells are. So we've done this first one already. Let's just give these a number 1, 2 and letters A and B for the egg cells. And we can see that we've already done sperm cell 1 combining with egg cell A. That's one possibility, but 1 could also combine with B. So sperm cell 1 with egg cell B, and then we would get, again, uppercase and lowercase b. And if you're thinking ahead, it's going to be quite predictable, but we can combine 2 with A, and also, while we're there, 2 with B. So those fertilized eggs would have uppercase and lowercase b in all of the examples. There are no other possible combinations that can happen. Those are the only possible combinations. So in this case, all the offspring will have brown fur. 100% of the offspring will have brown fur. So this is a way we can work out the inheritance of fur color in mice where there's one gene with two alleles. We could do one more example, and actually we're going to look at a simpler way of working out what all the combinations are. That was just there to show how the possible combinations happen. So here we now have two brown mice. So the father mouse on the left and the mother on the right. And in this case, we're going to have a different set of alleles for each one. So the father and the mother both have an uppercase and a lowercase b. Remember, capital B, or the uppercase, was dominant and stood for brown. So that's why they both have brown fur. Now, another way we can work this out is using a different method, not using numbers and letters like we did previously, but we can use something called a Punnett square. A Punnett square. And a Punnett square basically looks like a noughts and crosses grid. So when we're doing this example, when we're working out all the possibilities of offspring, the color of the offspring, we draw our grid like this. And then along the top, we can put the alleles that the father is going to pass on. So we put the father's alleles along the top row there, one allele in each cell or in each box. So we have a capital B and a lowercase b. Remember, each box represents a separate sperm cell. So we could just put that in just to help us remember. And then the mother will pass on a capital B in one of her egg cells and a lowercase b in the other egg cell. Now it's just a question of matching up the alleles. So the first box there is capital B, capital B. The next one will be a capital B with a lowercase b. The next one, same again. I'm just putting the uppercase one first just to be consistent. And in the last one, we've got two lowercase b's. So from this information, we can work out what the color of all the different mice is going to be. And remember, this is all the possible combinations that can happen. There are no other combinations that can happen other than those four. So what are the colors? Remember, we have a capital B standing, meaning brown, and this is the dominant allele. And therefore the lowercase b, this gives a white color, and this is the recessive allele. So we can see quite clearly that we've got a brown mouse, a brown mouse, a brown mouse, and the last one here, two recessive alleles, gives a white mouse. So we've got three brown mice and one white mouse. So we could say that 3/4 of the mice are going to be brown, or 75%, and 25%, or 1/4, will be white. And we can describe this as a probability or a percentage chance of these colors happening by doing this calculation. So the final thing we have to do for this video is to learn and remember some very important key terms related to genetic inheritance. So we've got all the words down the left hand side there in bold. There's 8 of them. The first one is gene, and we've done this before, but a gene is a small section of DNA on a chromosome. An allele is a different or alternate form of a gene. So in our example today, we were looking at the gene for fur color, and the alleles for our example were brown fur and white fur, or that gave brown fur and white fur. There are obviously could be others, but we were looking at those today, those in our example. A dominant allele is one that's always expressed, even if one copy is present, and by expressed we mean always shown. And the recessive allele, therefore, is only expressed if 2 copies are present, or we could say only expressed when there is no dominant allele present. All these, by the way, are definitions that you can actually use if this came up in an exam. These are definitions that you can actually use. The genotype is the combination of alleles present. So for example, lowercase b and lowercase b, or uppercase, 2 uppercases, or even uppercase and lowercase. So that's the genotype, the combination of the alleles that the organism has. The phenotype is how the genotype is expressed, or how the genotype is shown, the physical appearance of the mice. So in this case, the phenotype was either going to be brown or it was going to be white. The word heterozygous refers to our alleles when they are both different. So that's when we have 2 alleles that are different for a trait, and by traits we mean a characteristic. So when the 2 alleles are different, we describe them as heterozygous, and by different we mean a combination of uppercase and lowercase. So in this example, it can only be capital B or small b. That's a heterozygous genotype. Homozygous means when the two alleles for the trait are exactly the same. And by exactly the same, we mean both uppercase or both lowercase. So these are the important key terms that we need to be able to use. We will be using them as we go through our next set of videos. Hopefully you get the idea of how inheritance works. We've only used one example of fur color in our video today with mice, but we are going to do lots more examples of other things as well. So that's it for the video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.